Hello again, beer fans. Start of a series of Mexican beer reviews. I'm starting with Sol. It seemed like a good time to start going through Mexico, and I'll try to cover as many of them as I can. And I've got a variety pack from, I forget what the name of this brewery is, and I won't try to pronounce it. Um, but it's a major brewery in Mexico, and makes Tecate and this and Dos Equis. And so I'll review the four brands in the thing, and then I'll go to some other ones like Modelo, Corona, various others. This is just for you guys too, because my general thought on Mexican beer, and I know people. Now, let me preface this by saying I largely think Mexican beer is a lifestyle beer. That it markets itself towards a certain lifestyle, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Sell your product how you sell it, and if you want to project those lifestyles, I think that's fine. Drink for whatever reason you drink, but I don't really have a cruel bone in my body, I would say, and so lifestyle doesn't matter to me. Taste matters to me, and cost matters to me. And so my general feeling about Mexican beer is it's oftentimes the macro quality. Sometimes if you're lucky, it's as good, and it's more expensive. And so, why not just get a $6 American beer that tastes pretty much the same or better, as opposed to paying $8 for the Mexican version of the adjunct lager? That's my general feeling. And then oftentimes you get these cheap things. I mean, again, for instance, I don't know what Sol generally goes for, but this costs about the same amount as a little more than, say, a 12 pack of Bud would cost. And note the cheap bottle, clear, which is often going to cause the beer to skunk. Now, it was in a closed container, so in this case, probably not as much risk, and so this should taste fine. But you're selling it for $8 in a clear bottle. Why the fuck would you do such a thing? You can see that we've got a classic adjunct look, weak head, and nice color. Other than the fact that it's clear, this is a nice looking bottle. I think with a nice logo. It's memorable. I like the name. So let's see what the taste is. Smell is grainy, slight citrus there. And bland. Not slight negative note at the very end, but in general, what I've labeled in the past beer drink. Goes down easy, but that is a weak beer. That is a very light flavored beer. Inoffensive, but very standard, with a slight negative aftertaste. Um, I certainly would drink this if it was there, but I would never buy a six pack. And I mean PBR exists, and by that I mean that for $4 you can get a pretty decent adjunct, a six pack of a pretty decent adjunct. Why pay more? Um, because PBR exists and it fills a need, and so I admire that about it, how cheap it is, and that it's a pretty straightforward adjunct. And I challenge you to really argue that this is better than PBR. Um, I don't think it's good, but And certainly we're not on the level of Schlitz, which is my personal choice for lawnmower beer or adjunct or session beer or whatever you want to call them. Um, but again, with the exception of the fact that it's got a weak aftertaste, this is basically an offensive. Um, this is a very old brand. Go back to 1890, and so they've been drinking this in Mexico um, during the time of Pancho Villa, I guess. Um, and so it's got a lot of history, and again, there's nothing wrong with adjuncts. You've got your basic. Although I don't know if that, and I should preface this by saying, of course, recipes change, and so I don't know if this is the 1890 recipe or if it's gradually changed. My guess is it has changed, but I wouldn't swear to that. I tried to find history on, so I could not, and I apologize for that. If you know a little bit about the beer and its history and how it's changed, please post that in the comments for other people because, again, I would be interested to know and be enlightened. It's not offensive, again. It's just, and I don't know if Soul has, Corona very much has the lifestyle, and I think they're one of the, and they deserve a lot of credit for this. They're one of the great marketing campaigns. And currently, I would say they may be the best marketed beer on the planet. That's just my opinion. But what they've done is really fantastic, and we'll talk about it more when we get to Corona. Um, how what a fantastic job they're doing. And I've never seen advertisements for so. Well, I don't know if it's got the same lifestyle things, but I can't imagine why you would buy it in America. Another question for comments: how much cheaper is Mexican beer in Mexico? Is it the same? Is it cheaper in Mexico than American beer is in Mexico? Because I'm curious. It's like, what would this go for? If I was in Mexico, would this become a good value? Again, feel free to comment. Um, Again, the standard would be if this costs the same as PBR, might be worth drinking, and that's really where I'm at. Um, Currently, the 12 pack I got this in was in $13.99, but it also had Tecate and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, again, correct me. I'm out of my comfort zone in Mexican beer. Again, I'm trying to do research and things and get into my comfort zone. But again, I just don't drink Mexican beer. I think it's a ripoff. Um, Although again, that's based off my priorities, not your priorities. So can't say I recommend it. Um, wasn't horrible, but not really anything positive. Extremely weak, and while the aftertaste is not overpowering, it's a slightly negative note, and so that weakens the spear. Um, I wouldn't buy again. Again, if it was cheap in Mexico, you know, obviously if I'm drinking, I'll drink it. Utah, I'm quite capable of drinking it, but I can't really compliment anything about it. Not a good selection if you're down the way. But we'll try to see if there are some ones, if there are good selections down in Mexico. We're going to continue on next time Tecate, if I'm pronouncing that right, and then move to Dos Equis before going into Modelo and the ever popular Corona. See you next time. That's all I got.